right, moving on to the final game of the Saturday six pack here. And we're going to talk about California and Washington State. I'm looking forward to this one. This is a Pac 12 matchup here. This isn't anything big highlighted compared to the other games we've mentioned. But I think this is one of those that you could really sneak in to be an exciting matchup. Now, this is on the Pac 12 network, so not many people are going to be able to watch this football game. It's just usually how that matches up. I can't wait. We've talked about it in the past, but I can't wait till the Pac 12 finally figures out a media deal so where we can get more Pac 12 that's not at 11 o'clock at night on the Eastern time on ESPN. Like the ones during the daytime, we can finally watch those because the Pac 12 network is just not accessible to the majority of the United States. But this game's pretty close. We saw Cal play some good football this year. And then obviously we saw Washington State play some good football as well with their recent win over Wisconsin. That's obviously going to be I think that's going to be a game we talk about a lot this year is how Washington State beat Wisconsin. And then obviously it could bring the uprise of Paul Chryst, regardless, all that stuff. But this one's close in my mind here. Washington State's a 4-point favorite at home. The over-under is 53.5. California just coming off a win against Arizona, 49-31. Their only loss on the season was a 7-point loss to Notre Dame. And then Washington State just came off a 3-point loss to Oregon in a pretty high-scoring match at 44-41. I like the 4-point favorites for Washington State here. I think they can get it done. But I don't think this will be one of those matchups where we see it go any farther than that. I think this is a one-score game at most, 10-point Washington State win. I like Cal, don't get me wrong, but I think Washington State is a better football team.
Oh, no, I agree on that. And I'm glad you talked about things like, the Pac-12 network and, just the general, and really there's a general bias against the Pac-12. Perception becomes reality. Pac-12 has been down the last couple of years, so the Pac-12 must still be down. They are not. The Pac-12 has been a pleasant surprise. Is it a little top heavy? I'll give you that. I'll give you that much. But you've seen teams like Cal give Notre Dame all the trouble they could possibly hope for. Washington State, their transfer quarterback, Cameron Ward?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Ward. Sorry, senior moment. He's gotten better every week. Now, he was like the big hot guy as far as FCS quarterback transfers coming in. Washington State, nailed him down. He keeps getting better, and that bodes well for Washington State. Why this game is important is that literally, especially with the UCLA upset last night at Washington, which I personally didn't see that coming. I don't know about you, Christian, but I certainly didn't see that coming.
No, not really. When you watch the game, though, I did watch the game. I think Washington lost that game for themselves. Penix threw one bad interception. We saw some issues with them fumbling for a safety, defensive penalties. So I'm not going to be. We'll talk about this, I'm sure, later on during the week, and I don't want to get that too much in our game preview. But I think UCLA is a strong team. Obviously, any team that's 5-0 deserves to be ranked, but I'm still not sold on them.
Yeah, but now with a result like that, every game for the upper echelon teams in the Pac-12 become must wins. For Washington State, Oregon, USC, UCLA, Utah, they have to keep winning in conference if they want any hope to come out with a conference title. And that's great. Where before you only had a couple, I really think now that field of teams that you have to talk about that could win a Pac-12 title keeps expanding, and I think that bodes well for the Pac-12, assuming they don't be forced into extinction by all these conference mergers and everything like that. And that has to be in the back of a lot of coaches' minds in the Pac-12. How is this going to affect my football team if they keep hearing stories about how the Pac-12 is going away, or how we haven't been able to nail down our deal with Amazon or whatever it is. I mean, these are kids. Okay, these aren't like 10-year NFL veterans here. These are kids. They're going to be affected by that. They want to be on TV. They want to perhaps have a pathway to a professional football career, even if it's only, even if it's in the CFL up in Canada, or if it's in one of the arena leagues that are out there. I mean, they still want to be able to keep playing football beyond their college days. So that's a concern, but I think these are the kinds of games that, again, you wish were on TV, because people have just been poo-pooing the Pac-12 all season, and I think the Pac-12 has shown, look, we've got some good football teams in this conference.